So real quick before the actual video starts, I just recorded probably the best games of Marvel Snap that I have played since getting into the closed beta, but I didn't adjust the camera angle back up after I did a deck showcase. So half of the cards were cut off the entire video, and it was just really bad to watch. It was really hard to look at. So I'm not going to show those games, but I did want to show a couple of the highlights before jumping into the actual video. So enjoy, guys. That's my final answer. I'm not super confident in it though. So they did draw Apocalypse last turn. Are we going to send? Okay, we do send the Hood, which is very, very lucky for us. And it is just enough to swing that location in our favor. Otherwise, we would have lost. But we did get the good RNG. We sent the -2 their way, which left our +1 on our side. 20 power would turn us into an 18 lane. A 12 power card would turn this into a 17. Actually, no, I think we're safe doing it here. And we don't have to worry about the 25% chance for destruction. Because at most, I think he's going to have 12 power. So we should be safe here. I feel pretty confident in our math to win this middle lane. And I don't think he's going to be able to push anything over into this flooded area. I think we have too much of a lead. So I think it's a pretty straightforward win here. He's going to drop Apocalypse. It's not going to be enough because we have our Infinaut coming in. So it clutches out the lane. It gets us another 4 cubes. So we have a chance. And it's only 2 cubes. So we're going to play this one out to the end. He has a Chavez. Oh no, pushing it to the left, to the left, to the left, to the left. Okay. Whew. So we won the coin flip. We ended up pulling it out. Very good RNG today. That could have pushed it off over to the right. Maybe if we get the Jubilee or the Jug. Oh no way. That was so close. Hello everyone, TLSG here, back again with another Marvel Snap video. So for today's deck, I wanted to build it around our new featured location, being Muir Island. So Muir Island, after each turn, it's going to give all cards in that lane +1 power. So featured locations appear more commonly than other locations, so it's the perfect time to tech a deck around it. I'm calling today's deck Big and Small. So this deck focuses around having a low, consistent mana curve so that we can fill Muir Island or other key locations quickly to lock them down. These minions are typically small enough that they won't be large enough by the end of the game to be targeted by Shang-Chi, or we don't have to worry about them silencing us with an Enchantress. So the last few decks that I've piloted and games that I've played, I've realized that I had a really high mana curve, and I wanted to lower that, especially with Muir Island being a featured location. We're going to get a lot more value out of playing a lot of cards early and then locking down a lane. So looking at this deck, we are focusing around a lot of 1-cost minions, as well as having some mid-range drops, but what we don't want to do is have any 5-cost cards. So we have Infinaut, but this is the first time we're actually running it in a legit manner. So we're not sneaking it out via like a Lady Sif Ghost Rider combo. We're just playing it normally. So this deck doesn't have any major combos that you have to draw, and that is where the consistency comes in. It doesn't matter which cards you draw and in what order, you're always going to have something to play and some value to add onto the board. And so that's where the big minion or the small minions really come into play. And then by the end of the game, we're going to have at least one of our big minions being either Jubilee into a Chavez or ideally the Infinaut, so that we can drop a powerhouse unit to close out another lane. So the Storm Juggernaut combo is in this deck so that we can change another location in our favor. So if we are losing Muir Island, so if they drop 2 Devil Dinosaurs, if they drop a Devil Dinosaur and a Collector, and we don't think we're going to be able to swing the location, we can drop Storm into next turn Juggernaut. That is going to clear that lane for us of any cards that they played. It's going to easily lock it down. At that point, we want Nightcrawler in the Muir Island or somewhere that we can move him into on the last turn. And then hopefully we have a Sunspot in the Storm location that's going to buff over time. And if not, a lot of times we're able to just lock it down with these 3 cards, pass on turn 5 into a turn 6 Juggernaut. So This deck is really, really consistent just because it doesn't have, you don't have to have any particular cards drawn to win. Now, there are some cards that are going to be more beneficial if you have Draw the Storm Juggernaut combo, if you draw Sunspot and Infinaut early on. It's going to be beneficial to have, but it's not an absolute necessity. So there's a lot of cards that you can tech into this deck, so you may not be deep into pool 3 at this point, but really switching out any of these low-cost cards for other good value low-cost cards. So Viper is something I pulled today, so I'm testing it out with the Hood. That way I can drop the Hood, I can send the Hood over, the negative minion, over with Viper into their lane, and then I net a +6 power minion that's a 1 cost, so it's a lot easier to kind of turn a storm location with that combo. But if you don't have those cards unlocked, you can just as easily drop Viper for an Okoi that's going to buff up your deck, it's going to add some long-term value into the game. You can potentially drop in an Angela, depending on if you have to pass turn 1 to wait for your featured location to pop up. There's a couple of other like small tech. Any really powerful 1-drop card is going to be beneficial that you can switch out the Hood, Viper. The Storm is a pretty big piece of this combination. You might be able to make it work without it, but I found that locking down a second location that, in addition to Muir Island, is really beneficial in being able to swing one of 2 lanes, and then you just have to drop your powerhouse unit to finish it off. So I want to go ahead and jump into some games. I'm really excited to bring these games to you. I hope that you guys enjoy this video. I hope that you guys enjoy kind of the deck building around different scenarios. And so this one being the new featured location. We can change a deck that otherwise doesn't necessarily feel incredibly strong. So it may not be a deck that holds up against a typical high power, high value deck, so like a Devil Dinosaur, if we don't have that featured location. The featured location really helps us. We can drop these minions early. They're going to buff over time. So if we have 4 minions in a lane, they only have 1, and it's Muir Island, we're going to be getting a net +4 positive, +3 positive power swing each turn just by having additional cards in that lane. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into some games. I hope that you guys enjoy them. Alright, so we are not going to make the same mistake again. Here we go. All better. Okay. So the first location that we got is Muir Island. So that is perfect. And we have a really good hand. Like, this is probably the best hand that I could imagine for having this location pop up first. So what we're going to do is drop the Hood. Next turn we're going to do Viper, which is going to send the negative card their way. We will have a net positive on that one. And then we have Elysium as well. Oh my gosh. Do we even need to drop the demon here? I feel like we're going to win this lane so handily, or by so much. I'm going to do it, and we can pretty much pass until turn 6. So Viper is of course going to send the Hood over into their direction. And then Squirrel Girl, this has to be a bot. But regardless, this deck is so incredibly fun. So yes, I'm disappointed that I recorded for like 45 minutes, an hour of like, it was 9 games, and they were all really close. They were really intense. They were just they just felt so solid. So I'm a little disappointed there, but otherwise this deck is so fun and it's so consistent that I don't think it's going to be an issue getting any additional footage. So I'm a little back and forth. An Electra would kill their Squirrel Girl, but at the same time, we can, when we move Nightcrawler out, we can drop a 0-cost Electra. We're going to be able to drop an Infinaut. I don't think it's going to be an issue. I think we do Nightcrawler for now. I think that's the most logical choice. And then from there, we kind of go on. Yeah, this deck is super weird, super uncohesive. And so they have both move cards and discard cards. It's just a strange combo. So what we can do, I think we just pass. I think we pass, we drop Infinaut next turn. Or do we destroy the low-cost location? No, because then we would need to move this now. No, I think we're fine. I think we just pass. We buff up Muir Island. It does give us additional information that they have Gamora. And at this point, they snap because they're a computer. And they're not smart. I think I pass again, honestly. I think I pass just to let them think they've expanded their lead. And then next turn, I will drop all of my low-cost cards. I think that's the play. Hello, Mr. Bot. So they drop an Apocalypse in that far left lane. So strange. So they can't do anything here. If they have a Nova combo somehow, by the graces of... then this one would turn into... it'd be 8 more. So I don't think we even worry about moving... I don't think we even worry about moving Nightcrawler out. No, yeah, we do. Let's not be silly, guys. That way it'll destroy one of their 2 cards, so it's going to be a positive swing. So it's going to either give us 4 power or 6 because of the buff they would have gotten, and then we move 5 over. So yeah, I don't think it's going to be anywhere close, but I think like technically that's going to be our best scenario. Yeah, this deck was super unconstructed. So an easy 8-cube start. Hopefully the other games will be a little bit closer, and we'll go up against some actual human players. It looks like we're going up against Fox, which if you are in the Marvel Discord, the Marvel Snap Discord, he is pretty active in that. So we did get a pretty good Jubilee pull. So let's see if we get Chavez out of it. No, we get Volt Viper, which is going to send our Jubilee over there. Such an unfortunate. And then, oh my lord, what is this luck? I'm speechless. So the odds of that happening are so minimal, like it's ridiculous. So it pulled a Jubilee out of our hand and top decked a Viper, which then sent Jubilee over. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we are going to start dropping resources here. Next turn, I will do a Storm, and I think we'll be okay to just do this. Next turn, I will do a Storm in this left location, so if he's worried about losing resources here, then I think we're okay. And this becomes Muir Island. I think at some point we'll drop the Hood here, but actually maybe not, because we'll need turn 5 for the Infinaut. So we're gonna drop Storm. Hopefully he doesn't play any cards. He has Lockjaw. So Lockjaw is a card that I'm really excited about whenever I end up pulling, because whenever you play a card there, swap it out with a card in your deck. So it becomes pretty cool use card to be able to generate a lot of value, which is again unfortunate because he has such a solid lead here. I think that I'm going to play it this way. I'm not going to make the same mistake I did last time in underselling this location. So he drops the Wave into a Jubilee, into a Chavez. What is this madness? And so Lockjaw being one of the cards that I'm... Oh, and then it's Muir Island. No, we don't stand a chance. Because even if we pass here and he does nothing... Even if we pass there and he does nothing, That lockjaw into the Jubilee just really sealed it in kind of clutching out that lane. Just a really unfortunate series of events here. Okay, it's never too late for luck to get back on your side. I know we haven't seen eye to eye. It's been pretty unfortunate. But it's never too late. Never too late. So I'm going to drop the hood into Hala so that ideally he'll get destroyed. And then I think I drop my resources into this right lane just in case it's Muir Island. I think we just kind of anticipate that it is. And so looking at his cards, it looks like it is going to be a Devil Dino deck, or a Dino Collector deck. So Danger Room, that's not bad actually. I think it'd be worthwhile to drop our Storm here. So, actually, I don't know. That adds an element of luck that I don't necessarily want. And with a Devil Dino, we have to be aware of the Novas in the deck. And so if they don't have their condition to destroy the Nova, maybe they drop it at some point into Danger Room. And I think there's less chance that they drop something this turn into Danger Room. So I'm okay with turning Danger Room, especially with us having Infinaut. I think it'd be dangerous to... And they dropped a Bucky Barnes. So I think it'd be dangerous to drop an Infinaut into the Danger Room because you're just at that point hoping that it doesn't get destroyed. So they have Initiation, so they could potentially have their Carnage go off before Juggernaut takes place, which is okay. Nova and Carnage, my gosh, they had it all in hand. Honestly, it's a beautiful draw. But we are able to lock down this lane, I think. We are able to lock down this lane. Because they don't have a Nova Carnage combo anymore. And so I think it's a good thing that we ended up going there. So now we can kind of better assess what their power level is going to be. I am going to pass on this turn, and then if we need to drop Infinaut here, we can move Nightcrawler over. Right now it looks like this is going to be the least deficit that we have to make up. And so in a Collector Devil Dino deck, that maxed out that location, which doesn't seem like the play they would want to do. So if we drop Infinaut and Nightcrawler, because they shouldn't have anything that can buff up this flooded lane. Let's say they drop Moon Girl, Devil Dino and Moon Girl. To end with 6 cards, they would get an additional 3 that they generated in hand. So that would then be 2, 4, 6 into this lane. This would become 19. If they drop a Sentinel and a Moon Girl, they would end up getting 8, and this would become a 21, and we have 22. So I think we feel pretty confident because, okay, yeah. So thinking through their playline, even if they had the best possible cards in hand, at that point we would still win this lane by 1. So all of the Nova Carnage decks and combos are difficult to play against, but it is possible to overcome them. Okay, so the first location being Limbo, that means the game will have a turn 7 unless we destroy that location. So I think I'm going to drop Nightcrawler in the middle lane because we're able to move him if it's an unfavorable position, but we can leave him there if it is. So the big house, 4, 5, and 6 cards can't be played here. So not not a terrible location. It is fairly easy for us to play cards there. I think do I want to overturn Limbo? Depending on what they have, I think they get more benefit from that location than I do. And so I think it may be worthwhile to destroy it. I'm just going to drop the single sunspot, and then we'll kind of play it from there. We don't have it turned just yet. They did drop an Electra, so our sunspot should be safe. And then this right lane is Murder World, so that's not good. So I think we go ahead and play Storm into the lane that we sunspotted. We'll be able to follow that up with an Iceman and a Wolfsbane next turn, and then we can pass turn 5. We can play Infinaut into the far right lane. That's going to be the only location that we can play it. So hopefully they drop some resources in the big house here. Good. Let's not let RNG take this one away from us. We need a W under our belt. We had a rough go of it. It's been a very long, stressful streak. And so we double down on this location. It's turn 4. We don't have Juggernaut to push him out, but we do have Sunspot, which we'll be able to buff over time. We have Wolfsbane, which turns into a pretty powerful 3-drop card. And then we top deck Juggernaut now, not that it's beneficial. So we win that lane. I am a little afraid that he's going to drop something decent this turn in that location. So if he has any like big units, like double big units, he may be able to overcome the 20 power, so between a turn 5 and a turn 6. But he's running like a small minion deck, so I don't think he does. Maybe like Nova Carnage? That's really bad for us, or it could be. It could have been really bad. Luckily we had Sunspot in that location. He survived. He is able to take over and maintain that area. Okay, so we do have Jeff Montana that we're going up against again. So this lane being Muir Island, which is a good first sign. I'm going to go ahead and drop Iceman on the first turn. That way we can kind of slow down his gameplay on the next couple. And then potentially drop a Hood and a Nightcrawler into the location. So this one's Murder World. By dropping Hood now, he's going to get an additional buff every single turn. So I think we'll get enough benefit out of it that it'll be worthwhile. And then we'll be able to finish this up with dropping a Storm, probably in the middle lane, because he's not going to want to. Okay, so he gets a lower priority 1 drop, which is okay. But if we drop Storm in the middle location, I don't anticipate him playing any cards there this turn. I think he's going to play them here. So if we play Jubilee, no. If we play, which direction do we want, or what order do we want to play this in? So we can drop the demon in the left lane. He'll start getting buffed up. And I think we do that because we still have Electra to draw. Otherwise, we could play Jubilee and we would fill this location up. So we would play the demon here this turn. But I think it's worthwhile to play it in the left lane so he gets the buff. So he played a Moon Girl, which is kind of scary. He did have enough space in his hand. Could be a double double Nova Carnage. Which would be unfavorable for us. This is turn 4. If he has the double Nova Carnage, it would be 1, 2, 4 mana, or 4 energy. So he can potentially do it. And we have a coin flip for initiation to see who goes first. So I'm gonna snap. I think I'm gonna gamble that he wants to play his Nova Carnage combo this turn to potentially swing Muir Island in his favor. And even if not, if he just plays a card here, we're gonna be able to push it out into one of the other lanes to kind of block the space that he has available. So I think we do play Juggernaut. He does have 3 cards. He gets the initiation. The priority, even though it was a tie, so it was a 50-50 split. So he has a double rocket, which is interesting. And our Juggernaut's going to do some major work here. He's going to push 3 cards in different directions. So what that's going to do is it's going to make it incredibly difficult for him to do his combos, because he can't play in the middle lane anymore. What he could do is he could Carnage this turn in the right lane into the Nova Carnage on the final turn, at which case this would become a 5-drop. Okay, nope, we read into it a bit too much. So I'm guessing he didn't have quite what he needed, and he didn't have the space to do it. So if he duplicated the Novas before the Carnage, because he did have 2 rockets, so he only had 2 other cards that he duplicated. It would have been very difficult to have the tools to clear this. So Juggernaut came in and did a lot of work for us, a lot of really good positive stuff. So he dropped 3 cards on the turn where I dropped Juggernaut in a wide deck. That combo is so deadly if you can pull it off. It makes it really difficult for them to do what they want to do. Okay, so we have Sinister London this turn, or this game. So if we can get something like a Sunspot, or maybe even the Hood, we can start duplicating him and getting quite a bit of upside. So it depends on what we draw here. So we have Infinaut. We definitely want to, if we keep Sinister London as is, we want to hold Infinaut and drop him in the left lane on the final turn, because we'll be able to send it across to another lane as well. I don't think I drop anything again. We don't have a great early game hand. It looks like maybe they're hoping for a Muir Island. It turned into a negative zone, which is okay. So how do I want to play this? So if we leave Sinister London, it becomes sketchy to play cards in... It becomes possible to still play cards in the flooded lane. I think I'm going to do it anyways, just because I want to see what we can do. I don't think he's going to play a card at X Mansion this turn. He wants to buff up his Angela in that right lane, which is okay. Oh, and he has a Moon Girl. So we have initiation because he's flat. Is he going to play anything in this flooded lane this turn? I don't think he does. I think it becomes more worthwhile for us to drop a Jubilee into a Chavez, because he is still buffing up that location. And if he can fill up the location, then whatever he plays, it's weird that he hasn't played anything into Sinister London. So he's leaving room. Oh Lord, that's not good. So he's leaving room for a double Nova Carnage combo. So a double-double. So playing it at both Sinister London and the flooded location. So we need about 13 power in Sinister London. We would need about... No, we would need... Oy vey. I don't think we have a shot at winning this. What we can do, potentially, do we? So oh, it's a coin flip again. But do we send cards his way? Oh, cards can't be played here. So by doing this, we're not only going to get 2 high-powered demons, we're also going to limit some of the space that he has to play in. So for that double Nova Carnage combo, I think it becomes more difficult for him to make happen. He played a Devil Dinosaur in the right lane, which he already wins heavily. And it is the double Nova, and we send at least 1 his direction. It would have been nice to send 2, because he's going to be able to pop that in both locations. Just not quite enough. We have... So at what point does it duplicate? Okay. So I think... At what point does the card duplicate? Because if we have initiation, we can drop Juggernaut here, knowing he's going to drop a Carnage. We can send it over into the middle lane. It's not going to duplicate here, and that becomes 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We win this lane, and then this one becomes whatever we need it to be. I think that is our only shot here. Yep, I think that's how we're going to play it. I'm going to go ahead and drop Iceman in the right lane. I think we're going to end up losing, but I think this is our best bet at stopping this double Nova Carnage insanity. So Juggernaut's going to push his Carnage over. He's only going to get 1 of the sets of combos off, which is great. We have 18 in this lane. Oh, and it wasn't a Carnage, it was a Deadlock. So I don't know how that factors into our math. People are starting to run Deadlock more often. I think we win here. Do we win? Okay. Sin signed. That was so incredibly close. It was so... Yeah. We got a little bit of luck with a little bit of anticipation. Was able to help us make sure that swung in our favor. I think that is a good stopping point. I think that's a really good place to end. I'm going to go ahead and end the video here. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to let me know in the comments down below. This has been TLSG. Later, guys.